Question everything, trust nothing. It's your boy, CryptoKeeper, and we're here on a Monday, Magic Money Monday, with your boy, hiding backstage, Bill Noble. Mr. Noble, how are we doing this evening? Or actually,
I'm doing good.
Afternoon.
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
It is definitely not this evening yet, at least here. Yeah, dude, we've got some fun stuff to talk about today. So we're going to talk a little bit of Metaverse for those of you that are wondering, hey, what's the stream about? We're going to talk some Metaverse stuff, but there just came out some information about XRP. So if you are part of the XRP fam, make sure to stick around to the end. We have got some interesting information that could result in maybe a little something happening with the case that could be surprising, something that you have maybe not heard anyone even suggest, or at least I haven't heard it suggested. So I'm interested to talk about that. What else we got going on today? We are going to talk about that Metaverse stuff. Obviously, we're going to take a look at the markets, which we'll get into here in just a second. I hope everybody had a fantastic weekend. Hopefully, everybody stayed out of trouble. Like I always suggest, don't do anything that Keeper wouldn't do now. This years ago, no, we don't use that. Right now, don't do anything that I wouldn't do now. All right, cool. Let me jump into the chat real quick. Say hi to everybody. Who we got in the house today? We got Bull Runner says, following Mr. Noble, Mr. Bull Runner, we appreciate you for being here. We have got New World Crypto. Sean, what's going on? John Connor, as always. Brett in the house. Not So Pro Marco. What's up, Not So Pro Marco? I like that name. Green Day Profits. Good to see you as well. So hopefully everyone, again, had a blessed weekend, and we're going to kick off this week checking out the crypto markets. Let's start there. Let's see what's going on, and then Bill's going to break down for us some charts today, look at maybe some trading opportunities. So the global crypto market cap is 1.02 trillion with a T dollars. That's down 0.15%. I actually just made a move a minute ago. Let me update this. Let me see. We still red? Yeah, down 0.12. Okay. Bitcoin at 22,415. Pretty flat. ETH 1567. Pretty flat. As we scroll down through the top 10, we see the only thing green is XRP. So stick around for why, albeit it's a 1% move. Why is XRP the only thing of any consequence that's moving in the top 10? We are going to tell you that a little bit later on, so stick around and check that out. All right, so a lot going on today in the crypto space. I want to start off, Bill, with kind of macro before we dive into some alts. The markets have been, as you see, debate is red. The markets have been red, but really they've been kind of stale, right? Is there anything that you see going on right now that could really affect the crypto markets as a whole? As it relates to, well, you know what? Actually, let's start with this. Let me pull this up. Let me start. You sent me something a little bit ago. Let me pull this up. Where is it? Give me 1 second. I'm finding it, ladies and gents. I'm finding it. What is the? Oh, it doesn't. There it is. Okay, so we got a tweet pulled up here. It says FTX debtors are seeking injunctive relief to unlock $9 billion or more in value for shareholders of Grayscale, Bitcoin, and Ethereum Trust. So we've seen, Bill, the market's pretty stale recently. But what is a tweet like this suggesting? At first glance, it's like, okay, people are trying to get some money back. Yeah, wow, next. But why could this be a big story for the crypto space?
Good question. It speaks to the nature of forced selling.
Okay.
So everyone is in court, right? Trying to say, all right, I need to get my money back. And, Grayscale could be a deep pocket where, if there's an entity somehow tied to Grayscale, they're going to say, I want to make Grayscale sell Bitcoin or Ethereum to help me get my money back. Okay. And, most of what happened with FTX all went to bankruptcy court. Well, okay, maybe it's coming out of court in a way. And people are saying, yeah, I want to get my money from this place. And wherever they get their money from, it's going to mean they might just turn around and sell the crypto, which is why this little formation that we have, I mean, we'll go into it. Somebody called it the blade of grass formation, which is why crypto went straight down and did nothing.
Okay.
It's almost like there's a forced seller out there.
So yeah, forced selling situation would never be good. Effectively, Bill is talking about, if you just joined in, there are debtors out there in relation to the FTX debacle that are saying, hey, we want to be first up to get our money, right? And we know that you, Grayscale, have all of this Bitcoin and Ethereum in the Bitcoin and Ethereum trust. Now, whoever's owned by, what you have to understand is that, and I believe that most of you, if you've been following us or following Bill Noble for any amount of time, you know that a lot of these companies are all owned by a few parent companies, by BlackRock, by Vanguard, and then it kind of, trickles down from there. Well, why is that important? Well, it's important because some of these debtors, some of these people that are owed money can point upwards and say, hey, you've got the ability to pay me, and it's right here. And if they can set a legal precedent, or maybe not even with the legal precedent, if they can just literally say, hey, this is how you can pay me, and they can put forward a plan of action. Now, all of a sudden, even if it doesn't happen, you could get a little bit of a reverberating back, wave, a little wave going through the crypto markets. Why? Well, because exactly what Bill just said could happen. There could be forced selling. They could have to theoretically sell Bitcoin, sell Ethereum on the open market to pay back $9 billion worth of debt. So that is something that you do have to pay attention to. That's why we look at more than just the charts on every, on a daily basis. We try to look at the macro landscape in the crypto space with what's happening there. So I'm glad you brought my attention to that, Bill. I did not know that was going on. I don't know about you, but I've never really put any thought into the idea that these companies being so intertwined could actually hurt them, which could then in turn hurt us in the long run. Because if money is owed and there's a way to pay it, and the courts can say, yeah, you got to pay it.
That's it.
Got to be really crappy, right?
Somebody's going to have to sell, and who knows? That could even be Silvergate's depositors or customers.
Yeah,
they're going to miss a deadline to file an annual report, according to the Wall Street Journal, on March 16th. So, we
talked about that the other day. Yeah.
Right. The joke on my show last year was, there's something out there and it ain't no man, from Predator. And now I'm starting to think that is actually the case. That's why this thing trades the way it does.
Yeah. There's definitely things going on in the background that you might not see that are happening. So pay attention to these markets. That's what we're here for. We're here Monday to Friday, 3 p.m. And Bill is on right before us at 2 p.m. Eastern. So if you're here for Bill, thank you for being here. If you're here for us, thank you for being here. Either way, check us both out. Bill is going to do the market update, the market watch, market update. That's every day at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. You're not doing that on Saturday, are you, Bill? Monday through Friday?
No, Monday through Friday.
Okay, Monday through Friday. So you can get that market watch and then boom, jump on over here to Debate Crypto and get a little bit different spin on what is happening in the crypto space. All right, cool. Stick around for the XRP info. Smash that like. If you haven't done that already, you know what time it is. Just X out of the live chat if you're on mobile. Hit the like. Come on right back. We're still going to be waiting for you. All right, cool. And then obviously follow Bill. He's working hard for you, working hard for us. And yeah, make sure to do that as well. Okay. Let's start. You said something about a blade of grass formation. Let's start kind of more macro. Show that to me. And then we're going to dive into some alts. Ladies and gentlemen in the chat, get some altcoins loaded up that you maybe would like to see. I'm going to pick a random person in the chat to for us to do a live look at a particular altcoin. So throw one out there, and we'll go from there. All right, so check this out, Bill.
Okay, so here's watching grass grow. Right. So you don't see this in crypto that often, right? Normally, crypto has a very natural ebb and flow to it. Like, it's got a flow. Yeah. Okay, what is this, man? This is down only, and then this is called like pet the blades of grass. You know what I'm saying? It's just grass.
Right.
Now, when you have this, to me, it feels like there's somebody in here that has an infinite amount of crypto that you could just feast on. So anytime anybody wants it, it's like an 800-pound gorilla sitting on the market.
Okay.
Now, we don't know where this came from, but we do know that if crypto never acts like this, there's a reason crypto is acting like that, right? Mm-hmm. And of course, it's the same thing in Ethereum, all right? Yep. In this case, I have a DeMark resistance point at 1587. They tried to rush up there and failed. Like the 800-pound gorilla is right here.
What chart is that? Is this a...
this is a 4-hour chart. Good question. Okay. So this is a 4-hour chart of Ethereum.
Okay.
240-minute. And then this one was the 4-hour chart of Bitcoin. Okay. Right. And this red candle here, I mean, that red candle, like this market was okay. Then that red candle came out right as that grayscale tweet came out. So
it was almost like it's about to be a bearish engulfing, right? It's about to eat that green candle right before, right?
That's right. So, we don't have the details. We only have the tweet and the way the market reacted to the tweet and just the idea we talked about earlier. In other words, we could say forced selling is coming, or we could say forced selling is already here. In terms of macro, just to summarize it briefly, because I don't think people can take any more FUD. But, Powell talks twice this week. There's the inflation number and the payroll number coming up within the next, say, 8 days.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Right. So, that in combination with the possibility of forced selling. I mean, the good news is if you have dry powder and this gets ridiculous, it's an opportunity.
Yep. Yeah, opportunities are all over the place, ladies and gentlemen. If you have not figured that out yet, you haven't been in crypto long enough, because the whether it's forced selling, whether it is just, hey, you happen to be the right place, the right time, crypto does give those opportunities. And I'm always been, people think I'm the boring guy talking about dollar cost averaging. Well, these opportunities, when you are dollar cost averaging, are what help you bring that average down a little bit. So we'll see what happens. Do you have something else on that, Bill, that you wanted, or we want to shift gears into some metaverse stuff? What do you think?
Well, I do have one thing on dollar cost averaging.
Yeah.
It's a little radical.
Yeah, let's check it out. I like radical.
So in Elliott wave, things happen in 5 waves, and the DeMark work counts the waves for me.
Okay.
Now, there's always more than one way to look at this. Like, I thought this was A, B, C over. Right. The other possible interpretation that it's 1, trends have 5 waves: 1 down, 2 up, 3 down, 4 up, 5 down.
Okay.
Now, originally when I saw this 4, I was like, well, this is going to make it really hard to talk about it because a 5 wave means something below this.
So it would have to make a bigger move down again.
It would have to make a bigger move down. Now, let me ask you this, just theoretically. What would happen if it was something like down, down, flash crash to a new low on forced liquidation, and then it comes back?
Well, I mean, in what regard? Because you're going to have people scared out of their freaking wits as that happens, right? And then there's going to be people that are going to take advantage of depending on how flash the crash is. Then you probably have some sort of a rebound in which some people could play some games with you. I don't know. In what regard?
Well, I'm saying it could be what I would call a V bottom.
Okay.
In other words, if everyone sells all at once, so if like the Fed does something, the Mt. Gox stuff gets released, and somebody related to FTX all has to dump crypto into the market all at once.
Yeah.
You could have this like dramatic event that could create, as you said, people could freak out, right? But that freak out could be an opportunity, 1. And 2, that freak out could be bigger than anybody would really want to talk about without fearing embarrassing themselves. So I just wanted to throw that out there to emphasize the need for like dry powder, because you might have a miniature version of the COVID puke.
Man, I'm not going to lie. A lot of people probably don't want to hear this, but I actually wouldn't be too upset with that.
I mean, they don't want to hear it if you're 100% long, but if you make portfolio adjustments, then maybe you could take advantage of that. Now, obviously, I hope that's not the case, because no one wants that. So I'm not.
The only reason I say something like that, and again, I'm never hoping for just terrible moves in the market. The only reason I say that, I've talked about this a lot, was the best thing I ever did was ate up the COVID crash. And so if something like that were to happen, I would be working tirelessly to figure out how quickly I could move some funds around from one place to another to gobble up some more crypto, because it was the best thing I ever did. So I do look forward to those opportunities, but the only reason I do look forward to them, and this is it, is because I'm not actively trading very often. I'm not in some open, huge position, right? And then also I am just such a long-term, what's this going to do for me as I continue to grow old, as my daughter grows, you know what I mean? I'm so long on it that the short-term opportunities are just that for me, opportunities. So yeah. What else you got?
All right. Well, no, I always think of you on that story. Now, if we go to ETH, right? So when we're looking at this, we're trying to find like a downside target that makes sense. So let's try this. This is the 4-hour chart of ETH. Okay, so let's pretend for a brief moment that it's not going to be, it's not the COVID crash, right?
Okay.
So what would be the downside target? I would draw 1497. Okay. So this is called the hidden pivot method. Basically, I connect this point, and this point, and it uses Fibonacci math to say, all right, if this little trend extends itself, where's the invisible point? Okay.
Some of this stuff, I swear to God, I don't know where some of this stuff ever comes from. There's so many different options on technical analysis on TA that it boggles my mind sometimes.
I know. Well, everyone's got their little secret trick. This actually comes from a guy, he's old school. His name's Rick Ackerman is his name. And I learned it from somebody else who learned it directly from him in a class. But this stuff is really interesting because as I draw this structure, right, like look how ETH just stops right there.
At that point.
Right at that point, right? So I may not be the only person looking at this, is the joke I like to use. This is the ETH 4-hour chart. So in the event it's not, something ridiculous like a forced liquidation, if it's a modest forced liquidation, you would get 1497 and, just wipe out those people who came in early February. It's like a giant stop fishing exercise. Not to mention 1420 in ETH. I mean, that's the 2017 high. So would it be the worst thing in the world if we just went back and touched the biggest technical point in the history of crypto?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no doubt.
Right. But I mean, that causes a lot of pain if people are in denial about what's happening here. Right.
Oh yeah, for sure. And the pain comes in again. This is why we talk to each and every one of you about having a game plan, because this is crypto. And if you haven't realized it yet, you probably haven't been in long enough you're going to feel pain somewhere, sometime, somehow, some way, you're going to feel pain. So what's your game plan for when that pain comes? Because it can't be, oh shoot, pack my stuff up and run away. That's not going to usually end well.
No, if anything, I do my job so I can help people not get run out of crypto. Like, I worked for an analytics service that they wrote to us in 2018 and said, we really love you guys, but unfortunately we lost all our money. And then Bitcoin went and turned around and went from 3K to 14K and they missed it. Yeah. So in Bitcoin, if you draw the same type of structure, in other words, I'll draw it just so people can see what I'm doing. So I'm connecting this point, and this point, right? And it draws 21,500. So very similar in that it would just sort of wash out this final parabolic up.
Yeah.
So, if we're not talking about the apocalypse, which I would prefer we're not, 21,500 might be the level. And ironically, if it's not the apocalypse, then XRP may wind up saving the whole market, which would be pretty funny.
That would definitely be funny, and I'm sure Crusader would be super excited to hear that. Smash that like for XRP. If you're part of the XRP fam, smash that like. Maybe XRP will come in to save the day, and stick around because we have some interesting news updates for you later on in the show regarding XRP. Just real quick, Bill, I'm going to pull your screen down. You can keep it up, but I'm going to pull this down real quick. Just wanted to shout out my boy Anthony Price, CPA. This show is sponsored by Anthony Price, CPA. Ladies and gentlemen, it's tax season. If you haven't already set something up. No one likes taxes. We can all agree it feels like robbery. However, it should feel, and it will feel like robbery if you don't have somebody that knows what the heck they're doing, because you are going to rob yourself. So one of the things that I've learned within owning multiple businesses is a good accountant is worth their weight in gold. And if this same accountant knows crypto, hey, and you're in the crypto game, that's what you really need to be doing. So he's great to work with as well. Super understanding. He does small business work. So depending on what you're looking for, He's got it, and he understands crypto. And I'm talking to every single one of you who, whether you've done 10 trades or 10,000 trades, he's prepared for it on either end. If you're long-term or short-term hodler, depending on what it is that you're doing, doesn't matter. He understands crypto, so make sure to check him out. Like I said, price CPA. We do have a link down below the stream for him as well. All right, sorry to interrupt. Show me what you got, Bill.
Okay, so here's XRP. Right. I don't know if do you want to do XRP or do you want to do Metaverse?
No, let's do yeah. So let me take this down real quick. I actually want to pull up an article real quick. We'll do XRP towards the end when we hit the news on XRP. That'll work. So Metaverse. A lot of Metaverse has been one of those buzzwords in the crypto space. Bill, we've talked about how we believe the next bull run is going to be the utility bull run. And Metaverse has been one of the, I was really skeptical on NFTs before Crusader and I ended up launching a Danger Close Alpha, right? So for those of you who don't know, we've got an NFT project. Go to dangerclosealpha.com. We have NFTs that are for sale right now for 0.01, and we're going to be giving away 5 Ethereum. So if you want to get involved in that, we'd love to have you. We're bringing people who are already preparing for the collapse of the dollar into the actual prepper space, trying to figure out, hey, what do I do when a train derails in my town, right? What do I do? Just have a game plan. So dangerclosealpha.com, check that out. But what I was getting at was I was really skeptical of the NFT space. I've also been skeptical, and then boom, got into it. I've also been skeptical of the Metaverse space, not really understanding, I think, on the front end, all of the use case that's there. And it's wild, all of the opportunities that are there for a lot of the big businesses. But I've got an article that I'm going to pull up that actually is talking about how it's not going to be big business that's going to save and make the Metaverse really work. It's going to be you and I. It's going to be creators. It's going to be people using on a regular basis this. So check this out. Sandbox looks to a future where corporate partnerships aren't its bread and butter. So one of the things that we've seen if you've paid attention to the Metaverse at all, I'm not going to read this article, but I've already read it. But one of the things that we've seen is that corporate America jumped in and said, Metaverse? Oh yeah, I've got to play for that. They've got storefronts, right? They have concerts. They have opportunities to sell something to you, point blank, period. But where I think things have been kind of missing has been the experience. And I think that's going to take time. There needs to be a way where I don't have to sit down at my computer, put on headphones, be stuck to, you know what I mean? To where you can really, right. And when that happens, I think that's when we're going to see a change. Let me tell you real quick sidebar. On Saturday, my wife and I went to a virtual reality experience thing, right? And they've got one here in town. You go to the movie. It's at the movie theater. I don't know if have you ever done one of these, Bill?
No, I have not.
Okay, so check this out. So it's pretty dope. So you show up. It was not crazy expensive. It's like 30 minutes long, 40 minutes long. You put on hands, like hand sensors. You put on feet sensors. You put on a headset, and you put on a backpack. Okay? So I'm all geared up. I'm like, okay, what is this thing? Now, you go in, and you have this experience, okay? Just another sidebar. I just picked one of them because it was like an Indiana Jones experience. I thought it was going to be dope. The first thing they say is, hey, if you have any problem with spiders, my wife is deathly terrified of spiders. There were spiders you had to burn cobwebs or fire, like spider webs and stuff to get through this thing. And there's spiders jumping all over the place. She's like, I hate you. I know you did this on purpose. You know what I mean? Just kind of having just, freaking her out. All of that just to say, it was an experience where I was walking around in a room, actually physically doing things, picking up objects. It was interactive. I was a part of it, and it was super dope. When there's a way that they figure out how to do that as a home experience too, that I think is where we're going to, you know what I mean? Where you can actually interact with somebody else. I could see her full avatar. She could see mine. I could reach out and touch her. It would show that I was touching her on the, on the screen. Super, super dope. So effectively what's talks about in this article is that there's a disconnect there between businesses and you and I, the end user. And so there's a sales funnel there, but how are they actually going to make the experience what it should be for us to then be able to be like, oh, while I'm here, I'll buy something. as opposed to like, well, I'm just going to go here to buy something, right? So talk to me about Sand. I know Sand has actually made a little bit of a move recently. Whether that's good or bad, you're about to tell us. But talk to me about what Sand has been doing as it relates to one of these alts there, Mr. Bill.
Okay. So this is Sandbox. We're keeping it tactical on a 90-minute chart.
Yeah. Okay.
So what'll happen is people will give up on things. We see this in altcoins a lot. And then, maybe there'll be some positive news flow or just a short squeeze, right? And then it's off to the races. So here we have, that's the third wave down, the fourth wave up. And then this is the fifth wave down. The final puke was March 6th.
Let me ask you something real quick, Bill, for somebody that's watching this.
Right.
So in between the 4 and the 5 that you have listed there is a low wick that I see right there. Okay, so why is that, just for educational purposes, why is that not the 5? Is it because it's such a short move back up before it actually goes lower?
Okay, good question. So counting waves and then counting waves within waves is a science that can give you a headache. It's borderline unexplainable on television.
Okay.
Right. I think the real answer is that this is not the 5 because the market simply made a new lower low here.
Okay.
Right. Once upon a time, this might have been the 5, but since it made a lower low.
Oh, depending on when you're looking at, I got you. You're looking at it now with the chart looking like this. So boom, here's the 5. Okay.
Right. And then the other case for this to be the 5 is that it actually turned around and went the other way.
Okay.
This A implies that this could have just been a simple correction.
Okay. Cool.
So, when you have the metaverse, like Gala is up, it can just be simply a corrective rally. And one of the things that, I don't know, I was talking to my boss and he said that, he lives in New York City and he's like, I can order just about anything and have it be at my house in 25 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm not sure why I need to go to the metaverse to get anything when they can get stuff here in 25 minutes. And I was like, my argument is that AI is going to improve the metaverse because you won't be talking to ChatGPT. You'll be talking to your artificial intelligence friend. Okay. But if that's a long way off and you have forced selling in crypto, right? If you get a 10% rally and a big green candle, should you be chasing it? Probably not.
Usually get screwed by big green candles. Just saying.
Yes. Yes. And then there's this idea that, in DeMark work, trends can have 2 parts. There's a lot to these indicators, but let's keep it simple, right?
Okay.
Trends can have 2 parts. These numbers indicate like a set of conditions being present. The low is lower than the low 2 days ago. Every day the condition is present, it gets a number. So this is the 9th time. That's why I get the big number 9, because that means the first part of the trend is potentially done. Just like over here, right? You went up, you had a 9, and then you sat for a while, and then it exploded again.
Okay.
Now, in Sandbox, it'd be nice if this was a reversal, right? That it would just reverse back this way. Sometimes a 9 bottom means it's a 9 bottom, and it rotates this way.
Mm-hmm.
However, if this is the other interpretation is that it's the first part of a trend. And sometimes after you get these 9 bottoms, you get a move in the other direction, which is what this little green candle is. And then if it fails, right?
Wow.
Yeah. So I have some concerns. Like if I know we're going to move into it, but like Decentraland, had a really nice rally, and then the old ceiling became the old floor here at 62 cents became the ceiling, and there's like your 9 top.
Yeah.
Right. So, these candles, right? All that news that we were talking about earlier came out, and then the metaverse just stopped.
Yeah.
So, somebody was asking me, should you buy a 10% pump in the metaverse? The fact of the matter is, I wanted to have a use case like the X-Files. I want to believe.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, if they're still selling rallies, you have to respect what the market's doing.
Yeah.
Right.
I totally agree. Right. And it's people like to pick sectors. We've talked a lot about AI recently. That's a hot button, right? When NFTs were all the rage, boom. But what you have to understand is you have to be involved you better be watching Crypto Noble on a daily basis, right? You better be on there checking the market update. You better be on here to debate crypto every day. You've got to be involved is what I'm getting at. I'm not just saying that so that we can have more viewers on the stream. What I'm trying to say is that for you to be able to catch trends, you have to be active. It's like anything else in life. If you're going to be a good baseball player or a good golfer, you need to play. And that's effectively if you're going to be a good trader. Bill, I'm asking questions to Bill, putting him on the hot seat about, well, why is the 5 not here? Well, there is, well, the 5's not there, Keeper, because I said it's not there. Okay. And so what do I mean by that? Well, the 40 years, 30 years that I've been trading tells me the 5's not there. Right. So what am I getting at? Just get involved, be involved. What if you want to trade, trade. Study. If you want to just be in here for the long haul and you just want to put your extra money from a check and do the quote unquote easy thing and not pay attention to the market, do your thing. But have that game plan. That's what we talk about all the time with Danger Close Alpha. That's what we talk about when it comes to crypto. That's what crypto is. It's what's your game plan? My game plan to get away from the US dollar, to decentralize the money system that we have right now. These are all things that we talk about because they matter, but you've got to be involved. So I hope everybody is getting something. If you're getting something out of this stream today, first of all, make sure that you are following Bill Noble. His link is down below the stream. Second of all, make sure you've already smashed that like. That needs to happen. And third of all, do your taxes. I talked to you about this earlier, but just do your taxes. We've got a link down below the stream as well for Price CPA, so you can get down there and do your thing there. What were you pulling up here, Bill? Oh, hold on a second. Before you pull Gala. Okay. Actually, no, you can. Do you have anything else to pull on Mana? I had a quick article I was going to pull on Mana. But if you don't, no big deal.
You can pull up Decentraland. Go ahead. Okay. You can pull up your article.
Yeah. So I wanted to just show this real quick because this is happening. The movement in the metaverse, we haven't been hearing about as much because it hasn't been the hot topic. It's been AI. But I think AI and metaverse are going to very much mesh, like Bill was just suggesting a minute ago. So it says Decentraland brings the second edition of Metaverse Fashion Week. And you're like, yeah, well, who cares? Well, as earlier I said, big business cares. Okay. As we scroll down, you've got a bunch of different designers. You got Dolce & Gabbana, DKNY, Vogue. You've got all of these different designers and companies that are in here. Well, why are they in here? Because they have an opportunity to sell you something, right? And so it is happening. Tommy Hilfiger is a part of this, coming up. They have wearables that are going to be going out for your avatars. There are so many different creative things that they're doing in the metaverse. It's going to come down to what actually works, what can actually put butts in the seats. Or let me put it the other way. How do I put butts in the seats? Just like any sort of concert, you put somebody in front of people that they want to watch, that they want to listen to, right? And then how do I capitalize on the people that have already bought the tickets? And that's what's happening here. If you can get people to come to the show, you get people to come to the fashion show, you've got an opportunity to then take that next step with them. And that, I think, is one of the things that the metaverse is doing. There's an Amazon store, Bill, that just opened right out in Columbus. And I checked this out while I was doing the AI thing, the kind of metaverse type experience that we did the other night. And it's super dope. You literally walk into the store, and there's only one of everything in there. Okay. So I'm talking clothing, not just clothing, but a lot of it is clothing. You're like, wait a minute, there's only one. Yeah. You scan it, and then you have two options. You can put it in your Amazon cart, and it'll get delivered to your house within a day or 2 days, whatever. The other option is you can say, I need to try that on. And you literally scan it, say, I need to try it on. And I'm telling you, within a minute, you have somebody walking out from the back with your clothing to try it on. And then they say, would you like to buy this now, or would you like to have this sent to your home? I mean, things are happening, right, in 2023 that I even had no idea. My wife was the one talking about it. I was like, what? And she's like, let me show you. And walked in, and I was like, wow, things are happening. And the metaverse is trying to be, that's what I think we have to look forward to, if you want to look at it that way. Amazon is heading in that direction. You are going to be able to get on Amazon, have some, let's just say for now, haptic gloves, and pick up what it is you're buying, theoretically, feel it, look at it, actually experience it from your own home at some point, and then they're going to sell it to you, and then they're going to ship it to your house. So it's happening, you know. So that's my rant for the day. Pay attention. Technology is happening, and the crypto space is a part of each and every bit of it. So smash the like, chat. If you're having some fun today, doing something a little bit different, getting into the metaverse, getting into AI, getting some other stuff like that. So smash the like for Debate Crypto. Smash the like also, and follow Bill Noble. All right, Bill, what you got?
Okay, so someone was asking for Gala in the chat.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
All right. You know, what Gala does from a DeMark point of view, I mean, from a common sense point of view, it rushed up to this resistance point from when they did the forced selling on March 2nd, right? And it's nice, you know, it's a nice move where Gala unwound it all, but it comes to resistance. You see this wick up and it fails, and then that bad news comes out.
Yep.
It's not the type of environment where you necessarily want to be buying strength, right? And then render, someone was also asking for that. Okay, I'm sure all of these charts are going to look similar, right? Where you have, you know, a 5-wave selling climax, and then you have this short squeeze, right? I know the metaverse, the fashion part of it is incredible, phygital, right? Where you'll be able to try, you'll buy something virtually and have it delivered to your house, or the Amazon experience is even better.
Yeah.
Right. You know, how are they going to get fashion to Gen Z? Well, the metaverse, right? But then this creates a rally. And then if you have, you know, if there's something lurking out there, this was a chance to, you know, people use this to exit in render, right? Now, I know that there's a much broader uptrend happening here. This is, say, we'll go to a 4-hour chart. Okay. And just be mindful that, you know, if something goes from 43 cents to $2, they can retrace it back to 80 cents. You know what I'm saying? Like, just, you know, I know if it's your coin, it goes, oh, you're killing me. But from a common sense point of view, you know, what goes up can retrace, and you don't want to get caught owning the right thing at the wrong price.
Yeah. And, you know, that actually leads us like into a fantastic spot with XRP. XRP has been, Crusader and I joke around about it, right? I hold a lot of XRP. I think that the project is, as much as there's a lot of things that XRP goes against my values and belief system in a lot of the crypto space at this point. When I originally got into XRP, I was not in the position that I'm in now in a lot of different ways. And I was looking at it as sheerly opportunity. I wasn't looking at it as anything more than that, right? And so XRP has been one of those where you've had to do just this waiting game, and it feels freaking terrible. We've seen it jump back in 2017, the all-time high of $3.20 something cents, and then all the way freaking back down to like 19 cents or so. And we've seen then it's just gotten absolutely what feels like stale during this court case, right? And so, but people, here's the interesting thing with XRP. XRP, what Crusader and I started to say, joke around about, is there is a cult that surrounds XRP. It just is. Let's call it what it is. People in XRP are very cult-like in the fact that they are not backing away from XRP. And it's another thing that makes me believe in it, because the people will find any sort of way, rhyme, reason, whatever, to stick with it. And when you have that level of commitment, it's like XRP and Cardano, I think, would be the other one that I would throw out there, that have this absolute niche cult following. They're not backing away. Okay. Now, XRP has been stuck because of a court case. Call it what it is, right? They are also worldwide, so the U.S. wouldn't control everything that happens with XRP. However, as with many markets, the U.S. leads the way, right? We are still, as of right now, or at least we believe we are, the top dog, as it were, with the world markets, right? And so XRP, being that it's in a case here with the SEC, people are like, hey, I'm scared. I'm waiting. I don't know what to do. Okay. But are they in a case for like a whole lot longer? I think, Bill, you've got something pulled up here, right? Hit this. Talk to me about what's happening.
Okay. So there's been a Supreme Court ruling on a tax case. Okay. Now, to keep it very simple, right? It's called the Bittner case. The Supreme Court found that something called fair notice hadn't been given. right? Specifically to the point that I guess the IRS would demand individual fines for whatever this person did wrong. And then the Ripple attorneys say that drawing parallels between that other case and what's going on with Ripple, okay, Ripple is going to say that this Supreme Court ruling is, related. It affects them, and the SEC had effectively not given them fair notice that they were going to do this regulatory action.
Wow.
Okay. Now, if that's the case, so let's just say I discussed this. I discussed this with your friendly neighborhood artificial intelligence, and the artificial intelligence, to keep it brief, indicated that if you apply this fair note, like just what the headline of this article says, right? Supreme Court ruling backs fair notice defense, according to Ripple. Right? If this Supreme Court case is applied to the Ripple lawsuit, a judge could throw the Ripple lawsuit out of court.
Just throw it out.
Just
see ya.
Yeah, you guys did not give Ripple fair notice. And this is what's also interesting, is this idea of fair notice would mean that Gensler just can't run around suing everybody.
Ooh.
You just can't, serve everybody, give him these, notices that says a regulatory action is coming down on you.
Okay? That's a great point.
So isn't it interesting that on one hand, you may see forced selling in crypto. This is very typical in markets, right? You see distressed selling and people assigning meaning to the distressed selling. Meanwhile, something may have actually changed on the regulatory front. I mean, you don't know. XRP's up today. If we want to look at the chart, we can. But, XRP has a pulse today, which is interesting. And this article may be, I don't know, maybe people are just too used to XRP Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Okay. But this could actually be meaningful because it could stop. If they lose this case based on this fair notice thing, then Gensler just can't walk around with the bully stick anymore.
Man, that's so true, because that's effectively what a lot of people would say has been happening. He has the ability to effectively pick and choose who he wants to pick a fight with. And it's interesting, don't you think it's interesting, that the fights that he's picking are with people that he knows he can get money out of. That has been almost across the board. Or it was just a dead shot. Hey, we're going to win this, and we're going to go after it, and we're going to grab some funding from there. I think it's unfortunate because Gary Gensler does, at least from what I know, understand blockchain technology. I mean, he was an MIT. You have to at least assume that he does, being an MIT blockchain professor, blockchain professor at MIT, one of the most prestigious schools in the world, definitely the country. You have to hope that he understands what it is he's talking about. So it is sad. He is able to walk around, but here's the interesting part for those of you paying attention. So let's play it through. So let's say, for those of you that don't have any sort of a law degree, I don't have one either. However, I have a father that does. So this, by proxy, makes me an attorney. Okay, so pay attention. All right, that was a joke. I'm not an attorney, not giving legal advice on the stream whatsoever. Okay, so back to the reality. Reality is not an attorney. Just kidding. Okay, so what could happen, though, is the court case gets thrown out. Okay, boom, boom, boom. See ya. And then they turn right back around and throw them back into court, because it's not going to stop them from being able to then give them fair notice and then run it back. Here's what I think's interesting, Bill. This is just coming up now. Is this a Hail Mary on XRP's part? Is this man, our back's up against the wall, Is this something they've had in their hip pocket? Like, how does this actually play out? Because if it is a Hail Mary and it would work theoretically, you got to believe they're probably going to come after him again. And then boom, are we now talking about the case being over when the next bull run really kicks off in over a year from now? Or has this been something that all along, I hate to say it, but there's a lot of collusion that's been going on and does go on in financial markets. The question becomes, how much have both sides been able to effectively slow down the crypto markets, while the SEC, being the one that benefits from it, is in a case with XRP, who has all the money in the world to theoretically, at least for optics' sake, fight the SEC for all this time. Nobody else could hold out this long. So you're like, Keeper, what are you getting at? What I'm getting at is it's a possibility that all of this has been to just slow things down. The problem for the regulatory framework has been we jumped and took off. That bull run happened before, the big dogs were able to really, like, retail beat the big money in this instance. And so when that happens, the big money looks at the SEC, the big money looks at the government and says, wait a minute, that's not how that goes. No. I've been paying my dues for how long? I'm going to get my chance, my piece of the action. What would be a crazy way to be able to do that? Well, have a wild case that is directly saying, hey, is this a security? Is it not? It ties people's hands. Nobody knows what to do, which way to go. I don't know. I think it's a really interesting idea. And then to have this just kind of casually thrown in there, like, hey, yeah, you never gave us fair notice. You would think that would have happened right on the front end, like more of like a front side. You never gave fair notice. So I'm really interested to see how this plays out. Obviously, I want to see how it plays out because I'm trying to sell half my XRP at $5 when it hits that. But there's a lot of people have different thoughts on it. You want to show us a little TA on some XRP, sir?
So what's interesting is that what fair notice may create, it might mean that the SEC can't regulate without clarity. Like fair notice may force them to provide clarity. Like that was a conclusion from the second opinion that I got about this article, which could explain why XRP, this is really nice, right? It's a 9 bottom and it looks like it's going to start the other way, but then it reverses. This could be very powerful, right? Because these dotted lines, I don't draw them. That's drawn by the quantitative system. So, XRP went to support. There were buyers down there. Then this news came out, right? Like it would be pretty funny if the XRP army was vindicated and they didn't understand it. Like, I'm saying, like yeah. they didn't understand it because it's an obscure Supreme Court ruling.
Yep.
Right. It's a ruling, right? Like just so people know, it's like I didn't make this up. There is a ruling, right? It was on February 28th. So this is what Blockworks was referring to, just so we're clear about the news story. And then if you go to the XRP chart, like everything else today kind of wicked up and came back. XRP did. This is a 4-hour chart. XRP is holding a bit. So nothing survives a massive vortex lower. Again, it just would be funny if XRP and Ripple was vindicated.
Yeah.
And it was like a stealth vindication because the government, they won't be able to bring, if Ripple beats the SEC with fair notice, then the rest of the crypto market effectively is saved from arbitrary lawsuits. That would be how I would interpret it, which makes today, possibly a bigger day than you would think.
Yeah, I'm with it. I think that the whole time, no matter what this looks like, I actually want to touch this comment. Wick says, ain't no reason the SEC ought to be trying to take on more work by regulating the crypto industry unless there's something in it for them. Wick, I couldn't agree with you more. Nobody wants to take on more work. The only reason you take on more work is if you're going to get more return out of more work. Nobody tries to just, let me just add some more work for myself. Yeah, right. People are naturally lazy. One of the reward, in sales, people are rewarded by 3 different things mainly. You have people that are rewarded by money. You have people that are rewarded by time off. And you have people that are rewarded by recognition, right? So people, but normally, do you know where people fall in actually? Normally it's not actually money. It's time off. People literally want to not work. That's what they want to do. If I can kick my feet up and I'm still getting paid, I'm with it. You know what I mean? And I was actually surprised. I figured it would just be straight up money, but I learned a while ago it's actually there's more people that are motivated by, man, just don't let me, I don't want to go to work, you know? And so you're right. The SEC will benefit or should benefit from something with this, because that's all they're, you know, ultimately trying to do here anyway. So we'll see where the case goes. We've been, you know, back and forth for how long? So XRP, hey, I'm rooting for it. Hey, make sure everybody follow Bill Noble. His link is down below the stream. Check him out. He is on Monday through Friday right before us. So you can get your market watch update. That's at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then jump right over to Debate Crypto after that. So we'd love for each and every one of you to do that. Follow both of us on Twitter. We obviously have active Twitter accounts. We've got Danger Close Alpha. You guys always see me. People probably wonder, because I don't talk about it that much, why I'm wearing this goofy vest with no shirt on underneath it. Hey, listen, Danger Close Alpha is all about being prepared. I apparently wasn't prepared enough to have a t-shirt on underneath it, but I'm sticking with it now because it's become the thing. All right. We do want to bring the prepper space and the crypto space together, because the crypto and prepper space are actually very aligned. We're preparing for doing something different, getting your families ready for that future. So if you haven't already, smash the like. Like I said, follow Bill Noble. Follow us on all of our socials. Jump into our Discord, dangerclosealpha.com. Ladies and gentlemen, we love you. We appreciate each and every one of you for being here. You could be anywhere on a Monday, but you're here with Debate Crypto and Bill Noble. So we love you. We appreciate you. Just remember to question everything, trust nothing. And until next time, hodl like it's hot. We will see you soon.